Hi folks, welcome to week 7 of Mourne at Home Meal for Two. This week is going to be Cayenne theme week, and for people who are probably of the age of 30 plus will remember a restaurant called Cayenne in Belfast. I was lucky enough to open that restaurant and also be the head chef there. So the menu is totally inspired by Cayenne, and also as well, these dishes you've probably seen in Mourne Seafood Bar, because you can't move from arguably one of the best restaurants in Ireland and then open up Mourne Seafood Bar, in my opinion still a pretty good restaurant, and not bring any of the dishes with you. Starter's going to be prawn fish cakes with basil mayo, red pepper and tomato relish. We have a little bit of lemon and some pea shoots here to make it a little bit more restauranty, and so we'll get straight into getting it ready. Have your oven preheated at 200 this time, and we're going to stick our little fish cakes, which are already being browned off, in the oven, and we're going to set a timer for 12 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes please.
12 minutes, starting now.
If you're not lucky enough to have an Alexa, Google, just use the old watch. It still does the same job if you don't forget about it. So in the oven for 12 minutes, and when they come out of the oven, we're going to let them rest for about 2 minutes, because if you try to eat those bad boys, you're going to give yourself a burnt bacon. Okay, so our timer has just went off and our 12 minutes are up. So I'm just going to leave that door ajar and turn our oven off. It gives us plenty of time to plate up. We're going to just serve a little bit of lemon on the side, just in case you like a little bit more acidity to your sauce. We're going to plate it up like we do in the restaurant, but feel free to play around with it. I like when we go back and we look at all the people who've posted all the stuff on social media, it's brilliant that you just have such imagination how to do things, and the food looks absolutely banging. We have these little squirt bottles. You can use a piping bag or a disposable piping bag, and it's about time I give a friend of mine a plug. The Chef's Shop, which is in Wellington Place in the city centre, sells all that sort of chefy gear, and because everybody's cooking a lot more now, he's opening up on Monday. Get in and give him a bit of support. His name is Vincent. It's a Chef's Shop and it's in Wellington Place. Let's get the plating up. So, your mayonnaise. I'm making myself dizzy doing this. And then your relish is gonna weep slightly. Very generous with the relish here. I always think when you're doing a starter or a main course, you need to have the right amount of sauce for basically the right amount of fish cakes. 2 fish cakes like so, and then we've got these little pea shoots to make it a little bit more chefy. And I'm going to drizzle a little tiny bit of oil around that as well, just to break up the mayo. There's a little bit of spice in these fish cakes as well, not a huge amount, and there's a little bit of spice in the relish. And that would be very much a classic Cayenne dish, which has also became a Mourne Seafood Bar dish as well, in any shape and form. I can't take credit for that relish itself. It's a Paul Rankin original recipe. It is absolutely great, and the basil mayonnaise has a certain amount of richness to it. There you go folks, that's your starter. It is spiced prawn cakes with sweet pepper and tomato relish and basil mayonnaise. Enjoy. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed the starter. We're straight on to the main course, and let me just talk you through it. So again, another Cayenne classic. This main course is about as Cayenne as it comes, okay? And also it's developed to be quite much a Mourne Seafood Bar classic as well. So we have, instead of roast fillet of hake, we have grilled fillet of hake. We have chili lime lentils, tempura green beans, and this whole dish should take roughly about 10 minutes to put together. In here, we have our lentils, and I'm funny about lentils because when I was training to be a chef, I used to always just get lentils, and it was like a big bowl of lentils, and you get halfway through them, they're very one-dimensional. I like putting like veg in there, so there's a little bit of potato in there. Also, when we finish the lentils off, we're going to have some greens, some scallions, some fresh tomato. We also have celery, celeriac leek in there as well. In the sauce itself, we also have Thai aromats, as I would call them. So it's basically a Penang curry base. We've got a little bit of fish sauce in there as well. Of course, we have a shellfish stock as the base, and then we're going to finish it at the very last minute with a good squeeze of lime. Also, there's some lime leaves in there as well when we're making the base to the sauce. And we also have tempura green beans. Let's get the fish on. So, a little drizzle of our rapeseed oil, then we'll just season up our fish. Again, nice healthy amount of salt there. Get her on. Like so. A little bit of cracked black, not too much. And then just get your fish nice. Before I seasoned that fish, I got a little cloth and I just patted it dry, because when we go to grill it, we want to get a little bit of colour on the skin. Also, when you're grilling this, there's no scales in this fish, so I think one of the nicest parts of this hake will probably be when the skin, when it all starts to blister. Depending on your grill, pop the fish under. You're talking approximately anywhere between 7 and 10 minutes. Don't be scared to have it slightly undercooked, the fish, because it's probably the best way to eat it. It's almost like eating a medium rare steak, eating a bit of fish that way. So under there, I'm going to say approximately 8 minutes. And we can start getting the other items ready. So very, very easy. You take your sauce, we're going to give you plenty, and then this is your sauce garnish. You pop it in, all of it like so. And all you want to do is set that on your stove. Don't turn your heat on yet. And then your lentils, they have a little bit of moisture in them already. So what we're going to do is put the lid on but not close it. And about 4 minutes before the end, when we start to plate up, we're going to put those in the microwave. Again, everybody's funny about microwaves. If I try to heat those up in the pan, they're going to break away. By the time they get hot, they're going to lose a lot of their personality. So we're going to pop them in the microwave. We're going to get a good bit of heat in there. So when they come out hot, we'll have the sauce hot. We'll bring everything together, squeeze a lime, it'll go on the plate. Trust me, it's going to be to die for. And the tempura green beans, you just pop them in the oven. They're going to take approximately, say, 5 minutes at 180. We've got about 4 minutes to go before we pop those in and we pop these in. One more thing we need to do is just get ready for juicing our lime. You can juice it by hand. I have this little juicer here. You can pop it in there and then we'll give it a little squeeze when we're good to go. So I want to tell you something about Cayenne restaurant. Cayenne came about, it was an idea originally by Paul Rankin and Jeannie Rankin at the time. I was working in Roscoff's and they decided to open up a restaurant that was just going to serve spicy food. This restaurant was absolutely, you could stand in any city in the world. The food was, people sort of label the food as fusion, or confusion as they called it, but it wasn't really. The whole restaurant was totally based on purity. So the gloves were off, we could do anything we wanted. We weren't trying to be a Michelin star restaurant like Roscoe's was in the past. We just wanted to cook really, really tasty food. So the rules we had, every dish we put on was 3 rules. It was taste, taste and taste, and that's all we wanted. We didn't care about foams, gels. We just wanted the food to be totally yummy. And obviously a huge slant on being spicy as well, as the name is, Cayenne. The restaurant itself inside, if anybody remembers it, it almost seemed like you were in a nightclub, and it was always very busy. I mean, anybody who had the opportunity to work there could tell you that it was extremely, extremely busy restaurant. And it's something like took up a huge part of my 20s, was working in Cayenne from Monday until Saturday, like say 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 at night. And when I left Cayenne to go and open all our enterprises for Paul Rankin, we were lucky enough to get Danny Miller in, who's also my friend and chef and legend, and he took over the mantle of being head chef and progressed on the journey of Cayenne. Unfortunately, it's not here anymore, and so hopefully I can recreate a snapshot for people who have fond memories of it, or for people who never had the opportunity to eat there. And I'm just checking my fish here, but it leads into what I'm going to be doing next week. The theme next week is going to be Roscoff Revisited. It's going to be what we used to cook in Roscoff for like a business lunch dish. Very, very simple. It's going to be very, very classical, and I'm going to hopefully have a lot of fun doing it, and you're going to have a lot of fun putting it together and also eating it. Fish is almost ready. I need to get my sauce on now. There we go. So I'm going to turn it up to full. Get up the boil and then turn it off, and then I'm going to run and have a secret cupboard in there with a microwave in it. I don't tell anybody I have one, but I generally do have one. So I'm going to run in here in this little secret cupboard. I'm going to put this in the microwave. I'm I'm now doing the walk of shame. Out of my cupboard. There's definitely no microwave in there. Another thing as well is a lot of these dishes that we cook, and we're going to be cooking, and we cooked in Cayenne, it has to be a big, big thanks to Paul Rankin and Jeannie Rankin as well. Without those guys, I don't think I would be in a position I am today, which is the owner of a drive-through fishmonger and also doing cook-alongs every single Saturday. So he's still a really good friend of mine, and he's an exceptional cook. So yeah, Paul, I've actually robbed a load of your ideas, recipes, and we're recreating them now. Fish is almost ready. If you can see that, don't be afraid if you get a big blister like that. We score the top of the fish to stop that happening, and sometimes it just decides to blow up somewhere. When the fish comes out, we can just pop that and break it off if it's a wee bit burnt. We're going to get our plate over. Caroline, my better half, has given me a lot of grief about using the same plates all the time. I'm going to pop these in for a couple of minutes. And so we got this one out of the vault. I'm going to go in my secret cupboard here, which is definitely not a microwave. So there you can see our lentils. They were in for 2 minutes of full power. A little bit of residual cooking liquor from the lentils. We don't want it in our sauce, we just want to help it steam the lentils. You're going to have plenty of garnish as well, guys, so don't feel free to leave some in there. Sausage is coming up to boil now. The fish is almost cooked, it seems too easy. The other thing is, you see, I've purposely picked these two different types of fish because we don't know what sort of hake we're going to get or what size it's going to be. It's not a farm fish, it's a wild fish, it's a great local fish as well. So this piece is obviously going to cook differently from this piece, so I'm just going to keep him outside here and let his little chubby mate at the back there stay under a wee bit longer. Sauce is ready. See it bubbling there? You don't want to boil it too long. We're just going to take it off and then turn off the heat. We're going to pop in our lentils. I think I got a little bit of carried away with the amount of sauce in here. I will cut it back for you when you get your packs next week. So in there we have our sauce, which is a base of a Penang curry. You'll definitely won't get this amount of liquid next week. There's also a little glug of rapeseed oil in there as well. And then we're going to have a juice of one lime, or half a lime. This is the part where you get to taste this and you decide, you know, I can't tell you how much juice is in every single lime. This is when how much acidity do you want in this, what the balance is going to be. There's lovely weight in that sauce. You almost want it like a broth. I think one lime is actually perfect in that. Oh, sorry, half a lime I've put in that. Fish is almost ready. Yeah. So, fish here with a bubble. Just, and if you see underneath there, you know, you see, that's why the skin's there to protect the fish underneath that. You see that beautiful, beautiful shine of the fish flesh itself is amazing. Any sort of pan juices you have as well, without your fish flying off the tray, try to get those in there. That is gold dust to a chef. So easy peasy. We're gonna plate it up. So you're really looking at chili lime lentils, and lentils only make up probably about, I say, a third of the overall garnish. Again, another Cayenne classic, another Paul Rankin classic as well. I can't not give him a mention because this is a big part of what we were doing back in the day. I'm going to marble this a little bit of oil. Use olive oil, veg oil. And we're going to pop the fish on. It's always good as well when you're cooking a bit of fish, just let it rest and relax. It'll continue to cook. And don't be in any mass panic, because the last thing you want to do is try to bite into a plate of food that is piping hot. Green beans. I'm just going to give them a wee season. You'll have to season these. We won't season them for you because they'll draw out the moisture and make them soggy. It's like green bean Jenga. So there we have it, folks. We have grilled fillet of hake with chili lime lentils and tempura green beans a la Cayenne. Enjoy.